What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Certain Point of View, as we are here for our weekly show on the channel. And the full crew's back in like a month. We haven't done this together in like a month, and it feels weird, but we're all here. We're excited, and we have some controversial stuff to get to tonight, as it is brought the Schmoedown world in an uproar. Guys, how we? Oh, Jill's already doing the side eye. We're gonna get a lot of that tonight, I'm sure.
I got my tea ready. Got big ol' Life Day mug of tea.
I got my large wine. Cheers.
Brian, how are you doing, sir? Everything good on your end?
No.
No.
The freaking world's going to hell, and my school seems to be ground zero. So I'm literally trying to stay awake. Like it's insane. We had 50 kids test positive today.
Holy
50, and they're like, we'll keep the school open. Oh, and 17 teachers out. Yeah. Like, well,
there's a point. Like, there's a point where you just strike. Like,
yeah.
If they didn't immediately know that I would be the one that started it, then I would do it. But they would immediately go, he's the one starting it to me.
Like,
so.
that's just like a health risk, though. Like, no.
That's a lot of COVID going around.
That's a lot of COVID.
That's
no.
You could probably see it in my eyes. I'm just like, yeah, it's. I haven't had a prep period since last Wednesday, covering every possible class. And of course, you always get thrown to the worst class when you cover. So there's always that too.
That sucks.
Yeah. So. And now my TV just started turning on by itself. Oh.
Well, until Brian burned, before Brian burned the house down, Jill, Molly, how are you girls doing?
Doing good.
Living the dream.
I've been watching that Stanley Tucci Italy show on HBO, and it just I've eaten dinner, but now all I want is pasta, which is weird because I don't normally crave pasta. So.
Oh, I always want pasta. Always.
That's all I want.
So good. Sean just made like a really delicious dinner, and I'm just like, oh, pasta. Oh, sounds so good.
Stanley Tucci during quarantine did a cocktail thing where he made cocktails.
He's
like
just
every week or
freaking. He's like the
so
coolest
cool.
dude. I want to hang out with him.
Yeah, 100%.
He's pretty rad.
He's one of those ones that you're like, what can't he do?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
Yeah.
Nothing he can't do.
Jill, I tried 2 of the teas.
I was gonna ask, how are you? Brian has. Brian has been texting me about how does he start drinking tea, and I said, okay.
You start drinking it first of all.
Well, yeah, I'm like, here's.
Yeah, no, I bought it, and I've been trying different ones.
Okay, your thoughts?
So the first lemon ginger one I tried that you told me, according to Sean, you didn't tell me all the right directions, so that's why I didn't like it, because
it's hot water.
It's directions.
Apparently,
no directions.
He said I needed to cover it and do some other stuff. So
it's called steeping. Yes.
I've never steeped before. I thought it's throw the damn tea bag in the thing and pour the water on top of it and let it sit for 4 minutes.
You steep it. Yes, you cover it to let it steep.
Okay, see, I didn't cover. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes.
Okay. And then I tried Lady Grey that I did not like.
Earl Grey?
One. No, Lady Grey.
Lady Grey. I've never tried Lady Grey.
I don't know. I did not like that one. That one was not okay.
Okay, did you like the lemon ginger though?
Yeah, I just need some more flavor. It
Get
wasn't strong.
Put some lemon juice in there.
Honey,
yeah.
honey
I did.
ginger.
I poured a crap ton of honey in. I don't know. Maybe I think I just did it wrong. So
did you try English breakfast?
No, that's the next one. I weirdly can't get over the fact of trying it anytime other than for breakfast.
That's fair. So, there is. Did the one you get have English afternoon?
What about English 11sies?
No,
English 11sies?
I think it was English breakfast, Irish breakfast, Lady Grey.
I've never had Lady Grey.
Does Irish breakfast have whiskey in it?
I know, that's where
I guess it's Irish black tea versus English black tea.
I still need to bust out the stuff that you gave me, Jill.
Oh yes, I don't remember what's in it. I think it's like there was one really interesting one in there. But then there was like English breakfast and like the basics, but there was one that sounded interesting.
Oh, Earl Grey is the other one.
Earl Grey, yeah. So like the basic go-tos. Anyway, tease.
Hey, it's all good.
He's asking the Brit of the group. My dual citizenship is coming in. It is almost here.
We have a very, very exciting and possibly controversial show going on tonight. Obviously, you guys all know why. We are talking about the 2022 Schmoedown Award nominations. The polls are closed. The votes are in. The winners have been selected, and we won't know for a little bit. But we're going to talk about who we think.
So our discussion can't sway anything because it's already happened.
It's perfect. It's perfect. So we'll be getting into that, and we're going to be joined by the one and only Mr. Nerd Chronic, Eric Rodriguez, who will be with us here in just a quick sec. Super excited to talk to him. We haven't talked to him in a little bit, and he's actually never been on the show before. This is his.
Because he was always so freaking busy, and now
yeah.
This is his debut. But before we get to that, there's a couple comments I wanted to get to. Yes, go Raiders. I was going to bring that one.
Gordon, you're welcome. You are so welcome.
But I wanted to bring this one up specifically because Gold Leader is tempting us with a very good time. He's challenging us, and
I won't talk to us again.
It's not the worst thing.
I mean,
not the worst.
I don't even.
Gold Leader does not want me to show the internet the pictures I have of him.
I saw at least one.
We have blackmail.
Yeah,
we have
Zach
blackmail
happening. Sold your butt to the fire.
He was at our house for New Year's, and
hey.
he enjoyed himself.
Mm-hmm.
As he should. Proud of you, Evan. Enjoy yourself.
How can you not when you're at our house?
That's fair.
Send it to the Discord. No, Brian, we can't do that. And,
I gotta wait for.
Do it.
Do it, you coward.
Well,
I don't remember a good bit of that night, he says.
That means you had a good time, and that's what matters.
That means I make a mean hunch punch.
Hey. Cheers.
God, if it's anything like your margarita, I'd have one and done.
Oh, it's worse.
All right, well, let's just get to it because we do have quite a bit of these categories to get to. But let's talk to the former editor of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown and see what he's all about. So, Mr. Eric Rodriguez, Nerd Chronic, officially joining the show.
Hey, Eric.
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on, Eric? How you doing?
Welcome.
Good. Yeah. I mean, thank you for having me. Like you said, it's been a long time coming. You guys had officially done 2 years now, right? Of
2
this
years.
Yeah.
channel.
2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long time.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
All right.
I was watching, both of you guys. When it was just, Jake and Brian from the beginning, when you guys were both side by side.
When nothing was happening.
Yeah. Before the fall, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
No, it's funny.
That as crazy people joined and chaos.
It's funny. I remember at one point Brian and I being super excited because you had left a comment on one of our videos being like, I really like how you guys are in the same room, playing along. And you also liked the coin flip idea that we had.
Oh, yeah.
Which
wow.
Brian hated. Brian hated.
I always drop it or flip it too far or something.
Throw back.
Yeah, throw it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the channels, from the beginning, and then I was really excited when Jill came on, Molly came on. I remember being there when you guys, both announced it when you both came on for the first time. And yeah, I mean, the channel's really grown so far, since then, and I'm really happy to be here, finally.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you. And thank you for knowing that we would appreciate you for having your dogs in the background.
Oh, yeah.
So bonus points.
Do we call them video dogs or nerd dogs?
Video dogs.
Video dogs.
I'll give them their mother's name or whatever.
Well, before we get to Schmoedown and the awards and anything like that, just how is everything with you? I've had a little bit of a break, and the holidays they just happened. Everything good on your end?
Yeah, I mean, over the last couple months, it's been nice just to relax, and I've stepped away from my editing job from the show, and since then, I've just found, I've taken the initiative to really kind of recollect myself and reconnect with things I have really been able to manage, over the last couple of years, particularly just things like, hobbies and leisurely activities. And like Drew's been a big help with that too. Since we met at the beginning of 2020, and then like the next month she moved into my place because of COVID. And so like our whole like relationship and dynamic's been like really built around the fact that I have been like really busy, like I like every day and night it was like wake up, work, like we eat dinner at like midnight and then like hang out for like
I remember that.
Yeah, 2 hours until like 2
I was texting you or Drew, and it was like 9:30, 10 at night. She's like, "Yeah, we're about to have dinner," and I'm like, "What the fuck? What? You realize what time it is?"
And so, it was something that, in retrospect, I'm very appreciative that she was very, very supportive and understanding about, because it's like we did fall in love over that year and a half that we were together, and then it's something that's hindsight really difficult to comprehend, that she was like so supportive of someone who was like, sorry, like I gotta go work for another 3 hours until 6 a.m. and then like go to sleep for a couple hours and wake up and start all over again. And no, she's always been like a huge supporter of like the work and like my passion to do it and of the show. But now that I didn't have that on my plate, she relished that new free time that I had, and so I wanted to give that to her more than anything. And so I really just spent time with her and the dogs for the last couple of months. And over the last month over the holiday, we went to visit my parents for like an extended period of time, and just really take in like this like down time that we've had.
That's good.
That sounds lovely.
Nice. Yeah. That's so sweet. Oh,
we all need that to an extent. We all
yeah.
Oh,
not
I
you.
love that.
What? That's mean.
You never said so.
I mean,
ever.
Well, no comment.
Not denying it.
All right, Brian, I'll go to you first. You got anything for Nerd Chronic? Question about Schmoedown? Anything else outside of it? What do you got?
Oh, I didn't think we were interviewing him.
I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared.
I thought he was just hanging out with us.
No, I want to do a little question to start this off to kind of see how he's doing, and then we'll get to the actual awards.
Yeah, I will say first, go Raiders, because my family's a Raiders family. So.
Woohoo! Favorite season.
Ooh. Favorite season. That's a good one, man. I was thinking about this actually recently, because we're gonna go back to the studio and stuff ideally this next year, and I was thinking back to season. I'm trying to catalog them in my head.
I know that's a horrible. You have to remember a year's worth of matches.
Yeah, and everything gets like meshed together now. So I believe it'd be season 6, right? Because this was 8. 2020 was season 7. So season 6, I think was a really great one in 2019, because like we just that was the height of the live events that we did. We did like so many that year, and I think that was like such a crazy year for the teams tournament. Like I remember the teams tournament that year being so stacked. That was like when Shazam made the debut with Looney Bin, the movie guys. Like I remember doing the promo for that year for the teams tournament, and just thinking like, man, every match is just like a huge thing. I don't know who's going to win out of it. It was like I think the most stacked that the division had been at any point, really. And I remember that year in particular, 2019, being like such a crazy, huge, like the big monumental season for us.
I mean, love that season.
I feel like that's a lot of people's answers, which is and that's like totally reasonable. So
it's my favorite.
I will say that it's hard to compare it to like the last 2 seasons though, because the last 2 seasons have had like crazy, huge, monumental moments and matches and new players coming in. It just has like the asterisks of like it was digital, it was COVID.
Yeah.
So like things obviously would have been very different, and it's appreciating what we have, and I appreciate that we found so many new players over the pandemic because of like the digital accessibility that we had. Gold leader in the chat. Wouldn't have had gold leader without it.
For some people, we appreciate that he's here, but not everyone. Not everyone. Jill, quickly, do you have anything for Eric?
Do you? I saw some people asking it in the chat. Do you have a favorite promo or a favorite promo moment?
So hard.
I was occasionally I'll go back. I did this, every so often anyways. I would go back and look at my old work and kind of like gauge what I did then, how I do it differently, and where I came from. And and I would say so. This past year, in relating to Evan, to Gold Leader, one of my favorite promos I did this last year was Harper versus Gold Leader. That was, I think, one of my favorite ones, just because it was such a great story. It was such a natural progression of a story. It reminded me a lot of like Smets and Kalinowski, like just like that natural kind of like tension there of like, you know, Harper being like the, you know, quote unquote golden boy of the Dragon Con coming in, then Gold Leader being this like almost unknown
literal gold person.
Coming in.
A literal gold person.
Just like in taking out the Dragon Con players one by one. It was like such a great, just naturally built story. And like, and the music I found for that was like I really liked, and I was really proud of that one.
That was a fun
but overall,
one.
I would say two of my favorite moments, two of my favorite promos I can look back on like very fondly are one, the Shire Wolves double promos I did for their retirement, like the match promo and the like good little vignette I did for them to say like farewell, and then Smets and Kalinowski, probably 1 and 2. I count that as like a part 1 and 2 like together for Collision and then for Spectacular, because again, that's like it was such a natural story that they built, like, you know, because like they're such dedicated players to the game and to the story and to the theatrics of the whole thing, so like they naturally came into it like very, very excited and very, very heavy with what they could bring to the story, and so that helped it like really escalate the promo to like even greater heights, I feel. And I look back at that and I was like, man, like that's a really great one, particularly for Spectacular. Such like a good like button, I think, on that story, which thankfully now we'll get probably another match between them soon in the future.
Oh yeah, hopefully. I will say I am gonna miss the subtle whenever someone curses, this little edited by Nerd Chronic.
Yes.
We all just throw it in the chat. The chat just blows up with it now these days.
Edited by Nerd Chronic.
I will say I'm particular to the first ladies' night video.
I knew you were gonna say that because I was gonna say it.
Well, and that it's the reason why is because we didn't know it was coming. Eric had messaged, said, "Hey, I got something coming. Look out!" And then it's just an incredible video. So yeah,
way to make all of us cry on camera, Eric. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
except for Drew, who was cooking, and she's like, "Yeah, I've already seen it."
She's like, I
know. Molly, quickly, do you have anything for Eric?
Yeah, I want to know what has been your favorite live event and what city you want to see the next live event in.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. My favorite live event, I guess, would be 1 and 2, which is like for me personally, I would have been. I mean, this last spectacular was huge and it was crazy. I think that might be my favorite. That's like recency bias talking, but if not that one, like probably Free for All in the same venue like a couple years ago.
That was fun.
Free for All 3, like that was a crazy one, and that was like just super fun. And that's when I got like a lot of like the, you know, really great footage of everyone coming out. So I remember running around doing that like very fondly.
That's such a cool venue too.
I love that venue.
It's a great venue. It's like such a great space, you know, for everyone to be at. But beyond that, like the in general, I think the one of the best live events that we did in general, like even across, like, you know, when we went elsewhere, was the Chicago one, where there was like a packed house of like 1,000 people.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, that was a huge one. Like there was 2 really great matches, and the story stuff coming in at the end too. But I would love to see, if possible, you know, everything permitted, if the show could do something international, you know, like in the UK or like Canada or something, like, you know, so because I know we have a lot of international fans who would love to be a part of that, and it would, you know, just help to get more international fans. I think if we manage to pull that off, I just love to see the show reach that height.
Yeah, I think Canada is definitely like one that could be done, and I would love to go.
I'd go to Canada in a heartbeat.
Same. All right, shall we get to it? Let's get to the business. We got some stuff to talk about.
What's the controversy? Am I missing something? I don't. I haven't been paying attention.
Don't worry, we'll talk.
It'll happen.
It's because you're a guest.
It'll happen organically.
It's just because you're a guest on our show, Molly. That's all that it is.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's starting it. All right, apparently. So I'm just gonna go in order how it is here on the list that we were given. So I'll go ahead and bring this up. We're gonna start with Player of the Year. And I'll go ahead and bring this up so we can see our nominees. So our nominees are Marisol McKee, Griffin Newman, Mike Kalinowski, Ethan Irwin, and Thomas Harper. Thoughts, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm trying to remember who I voted for.
I know, right? Me too. So I'll start. I think you can easily argue anybody in this to win it. Anyone could argue any one of these players. For me personally, I think it comes down to Marisol, Griffin, and Mike. Personally, I think that's who it comes down to.
Really? You're not even going to include Thomas?
Because here's my thing. He's only in one division. So that for me, player of the year, how many divisions you're in plays a big part for me. And so for that reason, some people may be surprised as to who I have voted for. I actually voted for Griffey Nooms for this.
Really?
I did. Because he went to spectacular for both teams and singles. Like, yes, Marisol was there for singles. She's the singles champion. Yes, Mike was there for IG. He's the IG champion, but he was there for 2 different divisions. And so that for me puts him over for player of the year.
I'm
sure a lot of people are shocked by that.
No, I get the Griffey argument. I mean, it's very hard. It's very hard to do. For me, this was actually one of the easiest categories to choose from, and I think hands down it's Mike Kalinowski. I mean, the dude won the belt from Mara, and then he defended 3 times.
Yeah,
3 times in 1 year. He's a 3-time Intergeekdom champion. I mean, he's playing the best he's ever played, and he's getting up there when he seasons, reaching 5 seasons, 6 seasons, however long he's been playing. And he's playing the best he's ever playing. Yeah, in 3 divisions, you're right. I mean, he played teams all year long. He played singles, and I just think what he did was remarkable. And we didn't expect it from him because we thought going into this year, we questioned, like, is he capable of staying up to date with how Intergeekdom is playing this year? And he was by far the best IG player all year long. No question.
Yeah.
So to me, it's Mike. That's just me.
I think I voted for Marisol on this one just because she kicked so much ass this year. Like,
she did.
Damn right she did.
And like she's only gotten better, it feels like. Like she's really on a roll. And she's just a kick-ass lady.
Damn right.
But yeah, you could argue any of these, really.
You could argue any of them.
I think I went with Marisol also. I'm pretty sure. I knew I should have written this stuff down.
I should have too. I know. Because there was a lot of them I was like, like I should have written it.
So I know that for me, it was between Marisol and Thomas, actually. While my mom texts me.
Hi, Mom.
I'm pretty sure I went with Marisol only because I was thinking of just like the bloodbath of the rookies that came in and how strong everyone was. Sophomore slump is for real. And she did not fall into that whatsoever. I'm pretty sure I went Marisol.
So we have 2 Marisols.
She made history being the first woman.
And she defended.
She defended
against someone who Jill is voting for player of the year. Like, that's kind of a big deal too. So we have 2
But
Marisols.
He also made history with how many times he defended. So it's a toss-up.
We have 1 Mike, we have 1 Griffey, we have 2 Marisol. Eric, where are you at?
Like you guys said, it could really come down to any of them. I mean, all of them kind of made history individually this season. With Griffin, winning 2 tournaments and then going to Spectacular, and then Thomas being undefeated Star Wars rookie and getting the belt and defending. Ethan, being the first person to not let Dan defend. The belt. And Marisol and Mike, obviously, reaching new heights. I mean, to me, it came down to Mike and Marisol between the two of them, just because, like I said, Mike has defended, has broke and shattered that record of no one being able to defend the Intergeekdom belt, and stepped up his game to a point where, he's like, he had an undefeated season in Intergeekdom. And it was something that he kind of a new level that no one thought he would even be able to reach, like even get close to, with all the new talent that's come in. And then Marisol, again, just shattering records and moments and everything, and just coming in and like making so much waves this season. My pick in the end though was Marisol, just because. Yeah, I mean, it's monumental, what she did this season. And it wasn't just, obviously, there's always the narrative of like the first female champion, which is like already like a moment in itself. But the fact that she didn't like just let that sit as like her accomplishment, like she then defended consecutively, one and then a second time in the same season, like that's like big. That's like big for anyone, like regardless of like, male, female, like the moment, like the history, like whatever. That's just like an accomplishment in itself. And so like really like she, I know, worked her ass off to be like at where she is now. So did Mike and so did the others. But I just think it was her season. Like the season was, like, I think, like really, really defined by like her achievements in a way. So I think she ended up being my pick.
All right. Before we get to the next one, we did actually get a Streamlabs that came through, so I'm going to read this. This one comes from Adrian, and he or she says, "Hi team. I just want to say hi to Molly. I didn't see her on my first show I was watching."
So what do you mean he or she? You know who that is.
He's
in our Discord.
It's our new patron, Adrian. Okay.
Yeah.
I just have to be sure. There could be a million Adrians.
Just want to assume.
And
Hello.
he says, "How are you two, Brian, Jill, and Jake? And Eric, I love you and Drew's pop culture quiz and cinema bias too. It's been great being a part of the View crew. Thank you." Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian.
Yes.
Good to have you.
There's some dinosaur quizzes tonight.
Yeah, we're doing that right after this.
Right.
All right, next one is probably going to be pretty simple, but I'll bring it up. Singles player of the year. I think it's unanimous here, right?
Marisol.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
any.
Although Janine being on there too, I was like, oh.
I can't. Yeah.
That makes me really happy that Janine is up there.
Yeah. I was. Yeah. Janine, the love almost fell to that one. Heart almost picked that one.
I think it just comes down to Marisol becoming the first female to win, and then also defending a spectacular, which is a big deal as well. And then we got a super chat here from Mr. Tim Sim. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Interesting note: when Marisol begins her next season, she'll have the opportunity to be the first singles champ to have 3 consecutive title defenses,
and she's gonna get it because she's a boss.
Very, very. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. All right, next one could also be pretty simple. IG Player of the Year,
Kalinowski. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see how you can't.
I
He's
agree.
defended like this whole year. I don't see how you can't pick Kalinowski.
Parker had such a good year,
He
but
did.
it's everything that Mike's done. He squeaked it out for this one for me.
Yeah.
I had to go Kalinowski on this one.
Yeah.
Same.
Agreed. Question though, who would you pick for runner-up in this category?
Parker.
Parker.
Yeah.
He was knocking people out left and right.
Yeah.
And if I'm correct, he's the closest one to taking Mike out.
Yes.
Yeah, sudden
Yep.
death, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
All right, here's the big one. The one that the Twitters and the Facebooks have been blowing up for weeks now. Star Wars Player of the Year. A couple different options here. You have the defending champion in Thomas Harper. You have the former champion who defeated Alex Damon and then went on to defend twice in Andrew DiMolanta. The phenomenon that was Nikki, that gold leader person, and then Laura Kelly. Thoughts?
I mean, this one I can definitely see arguments. Like, I could totally see Andrew winning this because he defended for half the year. And then Thomas obviously got the belt, defended for half the year. Hi, Adam Witt. Hi, fan favorite.
Adam Witt.
Hi, fan favorite.
He makes a good point.
Yeah.
Because they needed to name 5. I personally went with Harper. Is who I voted for personally, but again, this feels very much like singles player, where you could really argue a lot of these players to be Star Wars Player of the Year. I personally think it comes down to Andrew and Thomas. I personally voted for Thomas. It might be a recency bias, but that is who I voted for.
I voted for Thomas as well. I mean, he is doing exactly what I thought he would do as soon as he got into the Schmoedown, and all of
take it super seriously and win everything
and win everything. Yeah,
win all the things.
Yeah, but yeah, all of his wins, his accuracy, you know, you could definitely argue for both Demolantas and like Nikki, especially for, you know, the second half of the year. I wish she had gotten to play like the first half of the year too, but
we could be
if she had played the whole year, I probably would have voted for Nikki.
Yeah. But I mean, Thomas has really taken this league by storm in a big, big way. So
go ahead.
Well, I would just say that I mean, I was on the fence between Thomas and Andrew as well. But you know, early in the season, I just kind of decided for myself. I was like, I even like I guess before this, I was like, whoever beats Alex just gets the win to me. Like, you know, because
hard
Alex,
to argue.
You know, it was like we had already kind of decided that no one was ever going to be Alex. Like he was just going to keep it like forever and ever until we decided the division is like tapped out. So you know, when Andrew beat him, I was like, okay, I can't not give that some sort of reward. Like, you know, like Alex being the first one to do that, like that needs to me like acknowledgement and like appreciation, and like, you know, Thomas is also deserving of everything that he accomplished in the year of deserving the award as well. But just like for history's sake and for to have it etched on, you know, the tablet of history for the Schmoedown.
Because you're a great player, Adam Witt. You're very underrated. Damn it! You know your Star Wars.
Yeah, I just think Andrew really deserves to be like remembered, like at least for the year, as like the guy who finally did it and like kind of blew the doors open for like the rest of this, you know, chaos to happen this year.
I'm with Eric. I voted for Andrew.
Yeah,
and I think it's obviously like what Harper did is incredible. Undefeated rookie, wins the belt of spectacular, or defends the belt of spectacular, excuse me. But I think a lot of people may have forgotten that Andrew only played up until July. He played up until July. Imagine what he could have done if he continued to play for the rest of the year. Like he could have faced off against Harper at spectacular. I mean, we never know what would have happened, obviously. But it was just what he did this year was incredible. Not just to beat Alex, but then to beat him again, and then to defend against Laura, I had said at the very beginning of the year, she was my pick to take on Star Wars this year. So I'm with Eric. I think Andrew deserves my vote. I think a lot of people probably feel that way too.
Yeah.
I mean, the case can easily be made for both of them. I think I went Harper only for the pure fact of he had to climb through the tournament first.
He did win one.
And then not only defend the belt later, he defended against someone that did the exact same thing he did.
Yeah.
Almost better. Maybe even better. So, yeah. Whereas I think, Andrew didn't have to get through the tournament, which by all means, he didn't have to. I mean, we already saw what he did.
Yeah.
But I just think when you defend Star Wars, it's like, okay. Yeah. And when you defend it against someone like Nikki, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
In a live event in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think if Andrew doesn't win Star Wars Player of the Year, he still gets the reward of being the one who beat Alex. Like he's got the ultimate bragging rights.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Alex is a has-been now, so it's like,
oh my god.
I didn't want to get into it, but I was like, this hasn't been his year, and Andrew beat Alex at a time where Alex was not doing his best. Despite playing a perfect game. I just know what his mentality was going into this season. He was burnt out from doing IG like 3-4 weeks into the year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He might come back and surprise everyone. So I don't know.
Get that belt back, Alex.
We'll have to wait and see.
Or yeah.
Bubba Dogs.
All right, next one again might be a little easy here. Team of the year. No question, right? Come on, everyone say it.
Shazam.
Woo!
Yeah. Shazam. Yeah.
Come on, Brian. You gotta say it. Come on, Brian.
Who did you vote for, Brian?
I voted for Shazam.
Atta boy.
Yeah.
Eric, I know you're on the Shazam train, right?
Sorry, the dog's still
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Shazam
You're fine.
away. Yes. No.
It's all good. My dogs bark their heads off sometimes too, so don't worry about it.
Sorry, Jeffrey. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. I know. I'm sorry.
He was lurking the entire time until this moment.
No,
he
he
commented
earlier. He said he was proud of me for voting for Jeffrey. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. I know.
Fair enough. All right, let's move on to the next one here, and this is Manager of the Year. This is an interesting one because there are a couple options in this one.
Yeah, the interesting one is why Gucci's on there.
Where's Barbarian? Where's Greg?
Yeah, that's fair.
I
mean, the same thing could be said for Kaiser and Adam Witt.
Let's replace one of them with Kaiser with
I will
Barbarian.
say this. I will say this for mine. I went with Shannon. Had it not been honestly, if it was Craig's name, I would have voted for Craig.
I still would have voted for Shannon.
I think Shannon was my clear pick.
Because I obviously, as someone who lives in a corruption household, literally they would have 2 to 3 study sessions a week, and Shannon was there for every single one of them. So
you're wrong.
Listen,
you're wrong.
So Shannon's getting the vote for me.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with that.
I mean,
I said Kaiser because he let me come to his house and pet Peggy Smalls.
That's fair.
Valid reason. It's a life-changing experience, let me tell you.
No, I voted for Shannon as well.
Eric, you on the Shannon train too?
Yeah, Shannon all the way, definitely. I think behind her closely is, I think this year maybe Coy, just because Coy, I know worked very, very hard with everyone to get them in the headspace to do what they had to do with like the huge matches they had to win, like every single time to keep up with where they were in the points. But Shannon, as you said, Jill, like I know how hard the corruption team works together, so I know she like facilitated that very well. So yeah, she's my pick.
All right. The next one here is the one that's been a lot of talk all over social media.
I feel like this is the one that's been more of
this
a
is the
hot
one
debate.
This is the one that's brought up a lot of fire for some people who are commenting back and forth between each other. Rookie of the Year: Griffin Newman, Thomas Harper, Nikki DeMolanta, Amaru Moses, and Josh Horowitz. It's probably a 2-headed race, right?
I would say 3.
You throw Nikki in there?
I'm biased for Star Wars, but I put Harper for this one.
I chose Harper as well.
I mean, he's not only is he a rookie, but he did what he did in the hardest division in the Schmoedown. It's everyone on this list is very impressive, but I think I don't know. There's a lot to argue for.
Of course,
all of them.
If Newman had one of the 2 belts, I would have picked Newman.
I agree.
Even one, not even both, but one.
I picked Newman.
Yeah,
I picked Newman.
Did you too? You did too, Eric?
It was tough, but I think I went with Griffin. And again, I hate to snub Harper on like both this and Star Wars, but it's sorry, my dog's on bark again.
No, it's fine.
Griffin, just like what he did, like just blazing his way through like both divisions, our teams and singles. Sorry, Drew just got home. She's like calling.
They're like, mom's here.
It's all good.
But I really want to give a shout out to Nikki because
yes, she was. That's why I said she was my 3. I was Newman, Harper, and Nikki are the.
And Amaru, yes, of course. I mean, Amaru getting. I mean, I'll say quickly on Amaru. Amaru had Mike like on the ropes, like in their match. Like he did, like he really did, and like he got a tough 5-pointer, and like that's what decides the game sometimes. But
hi.
No, like he had it. Like Amaru gave. Besides, I think Parker and Spectacular, Amaru gave, I think, Mike the biggest run for his money, and it was so he definitely deserves some credit as well. But Nikki, I do want to say, like, again, similar to what I was talking about with Goal Leader and like Smets and stuff. Nikki came in with like this demeanor of like, I'm not even supposed to be here today, like like that kind of like whole shtick, and she blew through like the division in such a spectacular way. And for her to get all the way to Spectacular and face the champion for the belt in a rookie season, like with that kind of like disposition, and also correct me if I'm wrong, I believe she is also the first woman to win a tournament, correct?
Oh, that's actually, I think that is right.
I never thought about that.
I think you are right.
Tournament or Star Wars?
I think
Marisol, Janine, Clark, Rachel, because there weren't tournaments back then.
Oh yeah.
Did Marisol win a singles tournament?
No. She got knocked out by Paul. So I think Nikki is the first to win a tournament. You're right.
Yeah, so like that in itself again was like the narrative of it like is really great, and like for her
to do that.
No, did Mara win a tournament?
Oh yeah, I guess that counts. Yeah, because like that was before it was like the ultimate tournaments, like
you're right.
Tournaments. Yeah,
you're right.
Like it was like the corruption Intergeekdom tournament that Mike had done for the storyline. Yeah, so that's right. That's fair. I won't take that away from Mara, but even so, Nikki really deserves some credit for what she did this year. And so it would be, if I could give it to her any sort of reward, I definitely would. But beyond that, I think it came down to Griffin and Thomas, and I think Griffin just came in like a shot in the arm for the division, and so did Thomas too for Star Wars. But I just I feel Griffin just earned a little bit of recognition in that sense for doubling up on what he was doing this season.
The argument can be made on a lot of these players. I see it pretty split in the chat between Griffin and Thomas. But I wanted to mention, while we were on the topic of Nikki Demolata, this Friday, ladies and gentlemen,
Yay!
Jill and Molly will be joined by one Nikki Demolata on Happy Hour.
Look at that segue.
2022's first Happy Hour is going to be in the books on Friday, and Demi herself will be joining these two crazy ladies for what I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm so excited.
This is one that I'm like, if only we could do this one in person.
Oh, my God.
I want to do all of them in person, but this one especially. But yeah, it's going to be great.
The amount of quesadillas we would have been eating had it been in person.
We should all get quesadillas for the show.
Okay.
Or have your significant others make you quesadillas.
Oh my God, make them
all the Star Wars boyfriends.
I'm telling you guys should have them dress up as waiters and serve you guys all night long. The towel over the arms and everything. Yeah.
Don't threaten me. 6 p.m. UK time is 2 a.m. Adrian. Wow. 2 a.m. UK time.
Look at you.
They're 8 hours ahead.
Okay, so before we get to the next one, we did get a Streamlabs that came through, and I'm just going to say this right off the bat. I have no idea what this says, so I apologize. This one comes from Theral, and he says, be our guest, see POV in 2 categories brings unrest. Like, use your fan, use your cup. Remembering Brian said Alex Damon was all washed up. Sorry on bad song.
Is this a song? I feel like this is a song you should be singing.
Be our guest.
You gotta say it with the French accent.
There's no way.
Guess.
Nice little, what's the word? Rhyme? Yeah, rhyme.
Good segue though, Jake. Good segue.
I had to. Good job. Took the chance. Took the chance while the viewers are high. All right. Next category is a fun one. I hope we all have the same pick on this one. Comeback Player of the Year.
Janine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the argument can be made for Andrew. Obviously, Mara winning a belt, but she only did play a couple matches. I've seen the argument made for David Del Rio with the run that he had. And JT, I mean, coming back after the years that he's had and off in the year that he had, almost fighting for a title. But I mean, nobody made waves like Janine did all year long. I mean, she was the people's champ all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my first pick was Mara, just because coming back after 2 years to this.
Yeah, Janine the Machine, JTM.
JTM.
Yeah.
JTM.
But yeah, no, Mara coming back after 2 years and getting the title and everything, and that was such an achievement as well. And so I was really happy to see her come back, and I think she was my immediate pick as comeback player. But Janine, coming back and doing as well as she did, and taking everyone to the ropes in every match. She definitely earned it this year, just consistently doing it. She played so much this year too. I don't know, at least I think upward 7-8 matches, which is a lot, in the league right now. So yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
we're all on the same page.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sure.
Fair enough. All right, next one is moment of the year, and this is a good one because there's a lot of incredible moments in this one. Kevin Smets returning at Spectacular 6, Marisol McKee winning the title, first woman to win the singles championship. Dimolanta versus Damon won the 51-50 match. Mara returning, we just talked about early on this season, and the Wild Berries reunite at Spectacular 6. I know Brian stated multiple times that there wasn't one specific thing on this list that he would have voted for Wild Berries. Brian, is that right?
I did, but then you guys made me feel bad for not picking it. Smets is one, so I went with Smets. But the funniest moment of the year is Shannon canning Dewberry's butt.
Dewberry.
That is my favorite part. But no, I mean, how can you not pick Smets coming back?
I
think it's the clear victory as it should be.
See, I will say this. While I did vote for Smets returning, because I believe I listened to the rundown and they talked about how, yes, Smets' return was not a dry eye in the room. That was also planned to happen. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Marisol becoming the first female singles champion was not a planned moment. That was a complete, she has to win for this moment to happen. So I really think it could come down to those two moments, Marisol winning and Smets returning. I, of course, voted for Smets, but I would not be at all stunned if Marisol winning takes that victory.
Khan has a very interesting take here that actually I'm kind of siding with. It kind of, only two of them are really moments.
That's fair.
They're really just true moments.
That was my logic when I was voting. It was and the other three are, of course, deserving of the win as well in their own regard. But the fact that those are related to outcomes of matches, kind of in a way disqualify them in my head, just because the Smets thing is a moment, it's a storyline beat for us as the fans to see and enjoy as it happens. Even if it was planned, it's at least something that we from the outside looking in really get hyped up about. And the matches, I think I kind of delegated those to the results of how I voted in the other categories related to those matches.
I would have liked to have seen this on there. That's actually a good call too.
I'm surprised that
he's getting an award.
Mm-hmm. I know, but this wasn't something that was planned.
His speech was
his
really
speech
good.
was
it was
yep.
I mean, fair.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree though. Only some of these are moments, and then others are they could win in other categories. So this one's tough.
I wonder
there
if
was
people
two where I was crying. So I
wonder if people would have changed. Oh, kind of like what Dylan said. The phrasing had phrased things
reword it.
And Jeremy
wait,
said,
let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
Would be if it would have been for Alex and Andrew's, put Alex and Andrew overtime for the match or something like that, the overtime, because that overtime was
Or it would be where they announced Alex to win only for the challenge to happen.
Or Jeremy said, Andrew's reaction to beating Alex. That's a moment.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a moment. Yeah. It is phrased, I guess, a little weird.
Just needs to be reworded some of these.
Yeah, like that. Like Mara's face. Like that's a moment. Like her calling to Dan.
Calling to Dan.
Yeah.
Yes. Calling to Dan when she won. Or Marisol hugging Shannon when like stuff. Yeah. Needs
My
to just be
favorite moment is seeing the Star Wars competitors like this on the rail watching Parker's match.
Yeah.
That picture. That's my favorite.
That was a pretty great moment. That was a whole vibe.
All right. Upset of the year. Janine the Machine defeats Dan Murrell. Paige for Betty defeats Ben Bateman. Andrew DiMolanta defeats Alex Damon. Nikki DiMolanta defeats Alex Damon. Poor Alex. Press Room defeats Danger Zone.
He said this on a live stream. I think it was our Boba Fett live stream last time, because Christian hopped in the chat and was talking, and he was like, thanks a lot for putting all my losses in the awards.
All the moments and everything is him.
Didn't he also say like, at least I'm gonna win something this year, possibly. Just to happen to be me losing.
So. I mean, look, all 5 of these matches are great. They're all great. But I think for me, it comes down to the top 2 right there. Janine, and Dan, and Paige and Ben.
I think this one's going to be the most split for us.
I went Paige over Bateman. That's what
I also went Paige over Bateman. Because she called her shot before the beginning of
she
the
lived
year.
up. She lived up to it. Yep.
And then when it came down to it in a tournament, she shot her shot and she hit.
Well, she did. She called Ben out in her audition video.
I know, and that's why I'm saying.
And then it came back around for the tournament. Yeah, like she doubled down and then ended up, and then she did it. Yeah.
Oof. I went that. Janine, like honestly, I think the thing for me a little bit was the way Janine was playing. Her beating Dan didn't surprise me.
To be fair, neither of them surprised me.
That is fair. But like Janine, I was like, she probably can beat Dan this year the way she's playing. Like Janine could have honestly beaten anyone she was playing this year. But the whole Paige calling her shot in her audition, getting that shot in a tournament, and hitting it for me, like that's
This one I feel like is hard for a lot of people because it's literally like, which one of these made you more upset? And like people get upset, like people get attached to different players and get upset, about all kinds of stuff. So this one's hard for me, but I also did Paige on this one just because the story lined up. It just I love Bateman, but I liked seeing him lose to her.
Agreed.
And he's on your team.
I agree.
I know.
She doesn't care. She's like,
he brings it on himself. He knows what he's doing when he
I
also picked Paige over Bateman. Just because, like you said, Brian, Janine, in a way, if we're going by the term of upset, it's like someone kind of the underdog, very like upsetting like the the big favorite. At this point, Janine has I think earned her way to playing Dan on like a leveled playing field, and so like her beating him, like everyone votes Dan because like he's like the GOAT and he can beat anyone on any given day. But Janine earned her shot to be there with him, and so she really just fulfilled what I think was what she had capable of her. But for Paige, the rookie beating like a now very seasoned veteran of the game, that's like I think a much bigger like deficit as far as like their tenure, like what you expect from them. So I think she and the fact that she called her shot, she really I think earned the award for that one.
And it was her first season. He is a former champion.
This one was a tough one for me because it was, as everyone here, it was between Janine and Dan versus Paige and Ben. And one of them tipped the scales for me for a moment that only a select few people got to see. And for anyone who was at the live concert show at the Mint after the Spectacular, when Ben Bateman was playing I'm Sorry for Tonight, Paige was at the table over, and she literally, when during the chorus, she went, "When I beat Ben Bateman," like in person during the concert, and I was like, so
oh my gosh.
That right there was just That sold me. It was great. He lost it. He laughed so hard. Like it was.
Well, and
really
it's also fun for us because and I don't know if Paige posted or not, but they had that photo at Spectacular together.
Yeah.
Where Bateman was like kind of looking at her all weird, and
I took that one.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, Brian took it. And their dynamic off screen and like out of the match aspect is actually really fun between the two of them to see. And clearly Bateman's okay, like just having fun with it and stuff like that. I'm interested to see what happens next year. Yeah, there you go.
Also, thank you, Ryan. That concert is now on YouTube. So if anyone would like to hear that little moment, you can all experience it.
I've seen a couple people comment this, but I'm going to bring up Tim Sim's super chat here. Nikki upsetting Alex Zane was my pick because nearly none of us expected her to take down the former champ because we didn't know what Nikki was capable of.
Goodness. The way Alex had been playing, that didn't surprise me.
Exactly.
I believed it when it happened. Like I was like, oh yeah, but the way Alex was on like a little bit of a slump, but Nikki more significantly was on like an upward trajectory. Like she was playing lights out. She had only missed like 1-2 questions in her previous match.
Yeah,
before that playing perfect. So yeah, that was like totally within her capabilities.
All right, let's get to one of the big ones here. Podcast of the year. Schmoedown Rundown, Beyond the Schmoedown Backstage, Machine Mondays, and Certain Point of View. I don't know who Certain Point of View is, but
bunch of assholes. That's what.
Yeah, they were also nominated.
There are a bunch of people that put their name through a name generator, and we say it over and over again.
Yeah, it's called namegenerator.org. We just typed in some things that we liked, and that's the name that came up. So
the funny thing is, you could have literally just told them they stole it from a book, which we basically did, and that wasn't the joke.
Well, I want Eric. What about you?
Yeah,
your thoughts on this one?
Yeah,
you do not have to pick us. Just letting you know. Right now.
I mean, I didn't pick myself. If I'm being honest, I didn't pick us.
Oh, I didn't
pick us either.
Yeah, I'll take point on this one since I'll be the impartial party in this. But I didn't, truthfully, like not trying to be here on the show with everything. I did vote for you guys just because.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I didn't even vote for.
That's the right thing you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to vote for yourself, like right. But no, I voted for you guys just because, like, there this year or this year and a half. Like we have seen like so many like after shows pop up, which is great, like, and that was like really helpful toward like my work, what I did with like, everyone doing different shows and interviews and things like that. So it was like, there's like a whole lot to pick from. And even the 5 that we have here, like it's, they do a lot to, give content every week, and you guys as well. But for this one, this channel in particular, I mean, you all worked very hard. You were very consistent with what you were doing, which I think is like the biggest thing, like consistency, like, like having like a schedule and like a pattern and like, like a certain pattern of like guests and like topics that you were doing every week, and like the events that you would do, like the ladies' night and stuff. Like I think you really, shaped the way these type of like digital after shows like would form this past year. And also like having Jill and Molly on, like particularly like Jill, because she was someone that I personally knew from like the backstage area of things, was like that was exciting. And then having Molly on was like I think a huge thing for me, because I was like, I remember Molly, you and Alex, you would come in, do the matches, and like that was kind of like all you would get, because it'd be like one Star Wars match in a year back 2 years ago. I remember Alex telling me at Spectacular 3, he's like, I'm gonna try and convince Molly next year to play. Like I'll see. I don't think she wants to, but I'll see if she can. And I was like, oh, that'd be great. Like I would love to see more of like the both of you. And when you played your first match in the tournament, it was like, oh man, I wish we could see more. Like, we only got so many Star Wars matches in a year. So when you joined this channel, I was like, that's fantastic. Like, I really love hearing like your perspective on things. I love hearing like you just be involved in the show and the community more. So like for me, like that kind of opened the gates to like, I think more people just, seeing the aspects of like the possibilities of what could be done with these type of shows. So like, I think you guys really accomplished a lot and paved the way for like what we see now with a bunch of these after shows.
Well, thank you, Eric.
Yes, thank you. Molly turned us down in the beginning.
Everyone go get your edited by Nerd Chronic shirts on Redbubble.
Yes, you did that for me too. Yeah, you gave me that idea. So thank you.
Thank you.
I want to throw this out, make sure everyone knows. Molly turned us down because she wanted to build her own empire in the beginning.
She did.
This was like during the the height of the pandemic.
This
I had
like
some wild ideas. I had some wild ideas. I don't know what I thought I was gonna do, but it was
I want to bring up a comment that I think is the nicest comment we've gotten tonight, and probably the most truest. Reiko, vote for the one that got him the most drunk.
Cheers. Cheers.
You're welcome,
Cheers.
Reiko. You're welcome.
Cheers. Cheers.
All right, so moving on because that'll come back.
Okay, we're
around.
moving on.
No soapbox. Okay.
Oh no. Okay.
Here, I'm gonna do mine really quick.
Let's get to it.
When I hear podcasts, I don't think visual. So I know Janine, and I mean, I listen to Beyond on my phone, like listen to it at work, and I went with them because I just really enjoy them, and Nikki makes me laugh like no other. She's freaking hilarious. So.
Yes. I don't get a lot of time to watch a lot of the other stuff that's happening in Schmoedown outside of like the matches. But the two that I do watch, I haven't kept up as much as I want to. I watch Rundown and I watch Beyond the Schmoedown. I think what Nikki and Andrew do are great. I voted for Rundown just because if they're included in this, and I know there's an argument of like why they're included in this, being that they are on the MTS channel, they're included, point blank. They're included. That they're part of this category, and I feel like they're the originators of all this. Like this is what they've been doing, and Brad and Frank are great. They're really good at doing all of it. They're really good at doing it.
And I thought the award was named after them, so that one. Was
that was a joke.
That's a Janice joke. Yeah,
that's a Brad and Frank joke.
I really took that to heart because, like, I literally thought that's. I mean, to make the case, even though Abby could be up there too, but yeah. And Mr. Moose. I see you.
Moose is here? Oh, he is here.
Yeah.
The answer is POV for best podcast, especially when Lomas came on Twitch Prime. Thank you, Moose.
I'll never forget just seeing him pop up at the little square in the bottom, and I was just like, oh.
Real quick though, Haas, can you send us some of that exchange beer y'all made? The dossier.
Yeah, I'll take some.
Legit, honest to God, the coolest effing thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Like that was freaking dope.
Yeah.
That's
Jill, the floor is yours.
Okay. I have thoughts. Let's start there. So when the nominees were announced, we obviously I'm very thankful that we were nominated for this category. And I would also like to say myself, my fellow hosts, and apparently the rest of the Schmoedown universe was very confused as to why we were nominated twice. We also were very confused as to why we were nominated twice. The issue which the confusion, not an issue with me because we were all very confused because there really wasn't a clear description as to what either of them meant. Things were tried to be described and it just made everyone more confused. For the record, Molly Damon is not a guest on our show. She is a very prominent member of our podcast and we wouldn't be where we are without her. So just want to make that very clear. Molly Damon is not a guest. If I am a guest,
I'm a very dedicated guest.
She's a very dedicated AF guest.
Yeah. Molly filled last, like with Molly Damon. Like
yeah. Featuring Molly Damon, I guess.
Featuring, yeah. Put me in the main credits.
Put me in there, damn it. So I just want to make that very clear. I do want to say I'm very thankful that we were nominated twice. We were all very confused as much as everyone else was. The confusion was fine. What I was not okay with during all of this nonsense was people almost blaming us personally for us being nominated twice, as if we had asked to be nominated twice, which we were not, because all of us, we were in a chat together. We all went, wait, what? Why are we, what is happening? What is going on? And I'm in the Reddit I'm in the Facebook group. I see what people are saying. I see what people are liking. And I'm gonna say this right here, right now. I took a lot of what I read very personally, and I was very hurt by it.
I think we all were, because we talked about it at length.
Yeah, we talked about it at length, and whether or not what people said was personal or not, I took it very personally. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I took a lot of what I saw on social media very personally over the fact that we were nominated twice. I think Frankie, for anyone who does not watch the rundown, I think Frankie kind of described it in a way that made sense to me. And as they are an official Schmoedown show, I took what he said as truth in the fact that the podcast award is all encompassing. Anybody can be nominated in the podcast award. It could be a fan-based show. It can be a Schmoedown, a channel on the Schmoedown YouTube channel can be nominated. It's all encompassing. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Molly and Jill are involved, but Jake and Brian are not. So we're kind of this, like, why would we? And another thing, do you really think we're going to either be on the Schmoedown or the Schmoedown rundown? Like, do you really think we're going to beat either of them? Like, why would we ask to be thrown in that? But anyway, for everyone who did vote for us for this category, thank you. Really, like, honest to God, thank you so much. We put a lot of freaking work into this podcast. I think we talked about it before that we had over 150 videos this year. Something crazy like that, where that is literally half of the year of our lives we are making content for you guys.
That is ridiculous.
Every time I came into my office, I was like, all right, turn all my lights on, turn the camera on. I was like, oh, wait, no. I'm just in here to
wait, no. So when people were talking about it, and they would say podcast of the year, the first thing they would do was laugh. And I'm like, okay, I know what you guys are laughing at. Like, it was like, not a single person congratulated, like, not a single one of my friends congratulated us for being nominated twice. It was all just why. And that was it. And I took that personally. And that's what I have to say about that.
I just echo everything that Jill said. That's all. Plain and simple.
I think for me, the thing that pissed me off the most was, well, an ambulance goes by, of course, was people saying that we have an in with Harloff. You guys, we don't talk to him. Like, the only tip he ever gave us was stop swearing so much.
Yeah.
Literally,
like the most we've talked to the man. So to say like those things, it's like, you guys, we're the same as you. So
yeah, I worked for Christian for 2.5 years, and like I barely talked to him like on besides like a business basis. Like he would text me like, "Did you see this thing?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, cool." And it's like that was like the most of it. So I don't think there's like to stand on that. You guys have some sort of like cabal inside lane with the show.
Yeah. So that's my soapbox. That's all I'm going to say on that. What I saw and what I read, I definitely took personally. And that's all I'll say. But I'm very much thankful for the View crew and for our mods for getting us to the point where we were nominated for 2 categories. Because obviously that caused a stir. Yep. Which also means we're doing something right. So thank you guys for being here and for dealing with my soapbox nonsense. Cheers. I'm going to take a large sip of this.
All right, let's go ahead and shift gears and we'll get to the next category here. This should be a fun one here. Feud of the year. Should it be POV versus the social medias?
No. What was the one people kept putting in the chat? Jill, you and I both said it should have been. Fans versus the dossier.
Fans versus the dossier.
I would have taken that in a heartbeat.
Yep. So we have Merle versus Roka, Kalinowski versus Chunju, Dimalanta versus
plural.
That's hilarious.
Bateman versus Forbetti and Gold Leader versus Harper. This is a toss up. There's a lot of good options here.
Oh, see, now I don't think so for me. let's be honest. The closest we came to a story this year was Gold Leader versus Harper. And that did not stop entertaining me for a second. It's literally still going.
I don't know.
It will never stop.
No.
Kalinowski, Chundru, I think that might have been the one that I voted for on this one because
that's what I voted for too.
Chundru knows how to talk.
I think I did do that one too.
Smack.
Yeah.
He knows how to talk smack. And so does Kalinowski. So like seeing the two of them go after each other, especially like early in the season, oof. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Nothing will ever top for me Evan or Thomas coming out of the bar after Spectacular and screaming at Gold Leader to get in the wrong Uber. Yeah, I told this story a bunch of times. He was
I've
like,
never heard this. What?
He literally came out of Barney's and was like, Gold Leader, I got you an Uber. It's going to San Diego. Make sure you get in that one. And then proceeds to get in the Uber with Gold Leader. So that was like, you won that vote for me.
Yeah.
I think I went Mike Chundru as well.
I did too.
I'm pretty sure I did. I think I considered Bateman versus Betty, but I'm pretty sure I went Kalinowski and Chundru.
I went Kalinowski Chundru because only one of these feuds someone was asked to delete tweets. And you know a feud is hot when someone is asked to delete something.
I voted them with forgetting about that. Oh my
gosh. Nathan in the chat has a good point. Karloff versus digital matches.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that one, that feud's still going on.
Yeah, that's ongoing.
Good, good,
love you.
Good, Gold Leader, good.
I voted for you. What have I done to you? I think this is actually one of the best arguments.
Ooh,
yeah. I would ask you a nice guy for the
someone had to be worse than Mike for the entire bar to root for Kalinowski. Like, also the Kalinowski pipe bomb before that match was just
it was gold.
So
it was gold.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan, that's not a bad one either.
I think I went with Gold Leader versus Harper, just because again that was one of my favorite promos I did of the year, and the stuff that they take out of the game too. It's just like hilarious. So
everywhere.
Yes,
I did love
that to live on.
I did love that. Like both of them, anytime they were on a show, they would make sure to squeeze something, some little jab at the other one in every like interview they did.
Yeah.
I feel like even if it's just like Harper commenting on someone's just random Facebook photo, they're like, oh, this is a great photo. Also, Evan Bushkar sucks. Like, like it's just like
my favorite. Go ahead.
It was the one that you had mentioned, and I don't think it ever would have got voted, but it was Gold Leader versus Gold Leader's mom.
Oh gosh, I would have voted for that one so fast. My mouse would have burnt.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to match of the year. And this is a big one because there's actually 10 of them that have been nominated. So let me run through these real quick. So we have 5150 Dimilanta versus Damon. Aliz, I don't know who Aliz Damon is.
Aliz Damon.
Corruption
That's
versus
what happens when you
Zam.
lose too many times.
Corruption
no one cares
versus
about you.
Zam,
Like,
the collision match. Kalinowski versus Parker, Spectacular. Kalinowski versus Chundru at the Cantina. Janine and Marisol in the number one contender match. Thomas Harper versus Nikki Dimilanta, Spectacular. Paul Walter Hauser versus Kalinowski, which was the round one singles match. Dan Morrill versus Collins 2, which is shocking that it's this year. That took place this year. Deception versus Blackjack. And Shazam versus Otter Couple, which was the Janine fill-in match.
I agree, Jeffrey. I agree.
I don't
know that's there either.
I went Janine and Marisol.
Did you?
That match, I was like screaming. I mean, I was for Alex and Andrew, but like that one, I was, there's something about that Janine versus Marisol match. I could watch that match over and over and over again, and it's just good every single time.
I think I went the typical route and did 5150 just because, I mean, they were machines the entire time. And then the way that it ended with Alex almost getting the answer and the reaction and everything. But any one of these matches outside of number 7, which is like the oddball, deserve a vote. Like they're all incredible matches.
Yeah.
I also went Andrew versus Alez for my pick. It's phenomenal. It's like the statistically, it's like probably never going to happen again. You know, a perfect game in a 5-round digital match like to 50-150, like it's unheard of. We probably will never see it again. So that's definitely my pick.
This one was really hard for me. I think I had like 5 solid ones where I was
so half
like,
of them.
Like honest to God though, like I'm not even kidding. I was like moving my mouse up and down, going and like figuring out. I think my top 2 Corruption Shill High were between Kalinowski, Chundru, and Corruption Shazam. I think more so because I was in studio for both of those, and so that kind of changed how I felt about both of those matches. Seeing how Chance completely flipped the Corruption versus Shazam match on its head, and they went into overtime. That was bonkers. And then again, Kalinowski versus Chundru, just the theatrics, the storylines, the characters was just pure perfection for that one. And I'm pretty positive that's the one I picked, Kalinowski v Chundru. Just because it was just so good. It was so good. But that was a tough choice for me.
Yeah, I did 51-50.
I think a lot of
you were glad for him to
just so
finally
Alex
lose
can
that
win
title.
something this year.
All right, let's quickly try to get through a couple of these. So the next one here is Faction of the Year, which I think brings up an interesting conversation here. So we have the Exchange, we have Corruption, the Mercs, Suspects, and Dungeon.
I went Exchange.
So did I.
I'm gonna be shunned from my shill status, but I also voted for the Exchange. I did.
I voted for the Exchange too. I threw up in my mouth a little bit when I did it, but I no, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Because Shannon got Manager of the Year, I also voted for the Exchange. Give them something because like they can't walk away empty-handed after like what they did this year. I think everyone.
Thanks, Goldie.
Well, I think so. Shannon did what she had to do for the faction and what she was able to do with so many people, and the points that they had in coming back later in the year like they did last year. But we have to remember that the entire Exchange faction didn't have a single title match going into Spectacular, and they were in the lead.
Without a title win,
without a single title match. That is, if you didn't vote for them, like you clearly didn't know that stat. Like that is ridiculous.
We were visibly laughing at them at the beginning of the year. Every single person that wasn't an Exchange person.
All right, we have 3 categories left. Heel of the Year.
Chundru. Again, only one of these people was asked to delete tweets, guys. Like, you gotta be going hard.
I honestly don't know if I went between Gold Leader and Chundru. I might have favorited and picked Gold Leader on this one. I'm not gonna lie.
I gave Chundru bonus points for taking that verbal beating from Smets at Spectacular too. So he got some bonus points for me there.
I voted for Chandra as well. I like for the same reason. He went overboard. So how can you not reward that in some way?
Yeah,
fair.
I voted for Chandra too.
Baby face of the year. Nikki.
The kid loses his title this year.
Yep, he does. It's Nikki all the way.
It has to be.
It's got to be a clean sweep, right? Like just a clean sweep.
Nikki.
Yes.
I mean, there's obviously going to be Brendan fanboys out there, but I think Nikki just overtook everything this year.
Nikki.
Eric, did you pick Nikki too?
Yes. Unquestionably, yes.
Okay.
Okay. 100%. Yeah.
Looks like everybody in the chat is saying Nikki. Someone said they actually voted for Janine, which does make sense. That's
Janine is also a good vote.
Good pick.
I don't know if Janine's babyface because she is a savage. Like she will come for you and she will end you.
Yep.
And that's just about Babyface.
She doesn't have a robotic arm for nothing.
Yeah.
She
will end your life. So yeah.
And then the Schmoedown Media Award, and Eric, I'll let you go first because I know you got to head out because you're getting ready for some Video Chronic stuff.
Don't feel like you have to vote for us.
We did get a Streamlabs that came through, so we'll probably spend a little time on this one. But you got any thoughts on the Media Award?
Yes. Again, like how I like to divvy these things up because I gave you guys the Podcast of the Year award. I decided I'll let someone else have a chance. Like, give everyone, spread it out to everyone. So I looked at the rest of them and really, I mean, they're all very deserving. They all worked so hard this year. And which I personally know because I watched every single episode of every single one. And so I would say, Let's Get Ready, is like right underneath you guys. Like, again, being around for 2 years now, working very hard at what they do with like the crew that they have. I definitely have to give it to them.
They have a great crew over there. They have that FCL show too. My language.
Yeah.
No, LGR is on fire right now.
Well, before we continue with the media work, because we did get some Streamlabs for it, Eric, it's been an absolute honor.
People want the POV question, Jake.
Okay, well, quickly before you head out, because just real quick, favorite movie snack and favorite candy.
Yeah, I've thought about this, so good thing. My favorite movie snack is snack would be nachos.
Nice.
Classic. Like I try to get some everywhere I go. And then candy, it's usually the I'm like blanking out the name. Sour Patch Kids.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sour Patch Kids. Like I love a little sour, with the cheese stuff. So yeah, it all blends together.
Cheers to that.
Well, thank you again, Eric. It's finally getting you on the show. You'll definitely be back at some point. Enjoy your time off. Enjoy watching as a fan. And make sure you guys are going to check out Video Chronic.
Yes.
What they're doing over there.
Jurassic Park tonight.
Jurassic Park.
Fun.
With the POV winner, Zach Burkett, joining us.
Hey, I was going to say, you better have Burkett on there because he's a beast.
Is he playing anyone else that week?
It's to be him versus Marisol and the Barbarian.
Oh, that's a star-studded cast
have fun with that. Eric, have a great evening, and we'll talk soon, man. Thank you again.
Bye, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fun group he's got going.
That's a stacked group.
I want to watch that.
That's an
end early.
All right, so
who cares about this award? Let's go watch the Jurassic Park.
Any final thoughts on the media award? I do have a Streamlabs that I want to read. But
I voted for us on this one. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I did too.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for podcast, but for this one I did. Sorry if you don't like it.
I voted for us on this one. I want us to win something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to win any awards with my trivia abilities. So,
excuse me, you won 3rd place this year in DragonCon. So
there you go. There you go. Not a lot of people can say that, girl.
I will say that this is to be able to be it's different from last year. To be able to be nominated this year is a big honor because there's so many shows. There's a lot of shows that we're not mentioning this. I know Galaxy Geeks is one of them. They've been working really hard.
Heck of people.
Just a lot of groups that are part of this after show community. I know C2A, even though they didn't do a whole lot, they're still the reigning champ.
I wanted them on this list.
They are the reigning champs, and so there's a lot of people. So it is an honor to be nominated. I did want to bring up Tim Sims' Streamlabs. He put this in at the early beginning of the show, and he said, "This is for the media award talk. Just want to say that this award has at least 9 after shows that could have been nominated."
Oh yeah.
I'm just happy to finally be a part of this tight-knit after show sub community of the larger Schmoedown community and look forward to who wins. So thank you, Tim, for that.
So are we.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, every single person that was on that Facebook thing deserves some credit, especially during quarantine times. Because I mean, I know I would have gone crazy if I didn't have stuff to watch and do, and so every single person deserves.
Yeah.
Well, whoever wins it, do like what is it? The Mean Girls, where you break off the crown and throw a little piece of it.
You get some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I said this when we were kind of just going over all the noms in our last show. I'm so thrilled that Show Me the Money was nominated they're such a fun freaking show. If you guys haven't watched them, they're a treat. They're really fun. And I think they just started this year.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see them nominated.
Jill and I undefeated.
I was the first.
That's why
winner
I won't
of
do it.
Schmoedown the Money. Just want to throw that.
And I won the following week, so Molly and Brian got to step their game up.
Hey,
and
step
go
it up, step it up.
I won't do it
They've
now
asked
because I don't
me-
want to hear it.
They've
Then
asked
I
me to go
lose.
on there, and I'm like, I don't like to argue. I'm bad
Clearly,
at it.
clearly,
you know
Jill and I
I
are very
do.
good at it.
You know I love a good argument.
We're clearly very good at it.
It stresses me out.
I know.
It relieves stress for me. So I was like, yes, give it to me, please. But I was very thrilled to see them nominated. Everyone here, I'm rightfully so, deserves to be nominated because everyone here puts out regular content on a weekly basis, multiple times a week, and they all know, as we know very well, it is a lot of work to do a after show with regular content on a consistent basis, especially with the shows like LGR, who have like 9 people that are a part of the show. It's hard to do
We
a
could
show.
barely handle us.
We could
four.
barely handle the 4 of us. So these shows that have a bunch of hosts doing their thing, I applaud them. It is a lot of hard work. So everyone who was nominated rightfully deserves a nomination for sure. But I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people and I voted for us too. So
Oh yeah, I didn't vote for us on the other one, but this one I did.
yeah, call me a bad person, but I voted for us. Sorry. This is like the one time we get recognized.
It would be very hard. It would be very hard for me to believe every other host be like, "Yeah, I didn't vote for myself." Like,
y'all did. Don't give me the modest train. I know all y'all voted for yourselves too. Don't even try with me. You should vote for yourselves because we all know how much work we all put in. So if you're not voting for yourselves,
a year's
like,
worth of content, like definitely.
Yeah, y'all vote for yourselves. Y'all deserve it. Vote for yourselves. Boom.
All right, one Streamlabs came from Ryko. Oh, thank you, Ryko, for the donation.
Hi, Ryko.
He says Ontario is pretty much shut down again, so glad to have you guys to keep me sane. Thank you.
Cheers.
We should be too, but
yeah, we should be, but America.
Yeah.
And then the final note of the awards is that the Yodi Award this year is going to the outlaw, Mr. John Roca. I think, rightfully so. The guy's put in a lot of work for a long time, and definitely deserves that he gets that award. So
I'm still waiting.
I saw other people wanting. Oh yeah, I saw other people wanting others, but like Roca's just like.
How could it not be Roca? Like,
if it can only be one person, like, come on.
Hi, Kylo. Yeah. It. How could it?
Tupper.
He finished his bone, so he's like, "Can we go inside yet?"
Hi. Yeah. It. I don't see how it can't be. Also, to all the after shows in the chat who voted for yourselves, yes, you should vote for yourselves. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Do not ever feel bad about that.
Don't ever feel bad about that. No. Yeah, like I said, I'm still waiting for the Yodi for Nerd Chronic because I think he rightfully deserves to be recognized for all of his work that he's done over the years. But if it's one individual, how could it not be John Roca?
And does anyone want to deal with him not getting his award? Because I don't.
Imagine if that was in person. They can get away with it if it was digitally, but if it was in person, he didn't get that award. Oof.
No.
Yeah. I don't want to get that.
All right, one more Streamlabs came through here from Farrell. Said the worst move of the year, Kate trading Marisol. Shannon should thank Kate. Now let's give Molly the cutest dog win. R.I.P. Mr. Bob Saget. Yes.
Oh, that 2022 is starting off real good, isn't it?
No bueno.
God.
Thanks
for making us sad, Farrell. Appreciate it.
And I don't know if we've been on the air since it happened, but we had talked about Betty White on our
trivia.
Yeah, someone jinxed it. Someone jinxed it in trivia. Yeah. I'm not going to reveal who it was. You know who you are.
It was me. I'm sorry.
Just think about the amazing Golden Girls reunion happening somewhere
Here's-
right
Yeah.
now.
Here's the best post I saw about it that made me feel better is that they were planning this big, huge 100th birthday extravaganza for Betty White. And the comedic genius that she is, she went out on the best comedic timing going, oh, hey, yeah, this huge party y'all planned for me? Yeah, not gonna make it. Like,
The money she costs all those like companies that printed stuff.
what a legend.
Yeah.
What a legend. What an absolute legend. Cheers to Betty White. And Sidney Poitier, too. Okay,
Yeah.
now
Oh,
That
yeah.
too.
I'm-
Yeah. It's
Now
just
I'm real
2022. It's rough. It's rough.
Mm,
All right.
Cheers.
Well, any final thoughts on the awards, nominations?
be
anything like that?
nice to people and be proud of their accomplishments, damn it.
I mean, I
Not just
second
that.
that. I definitely second that. Sometimes some things bring out the worst in people, and just it's not that big of a deal, guys.
If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah. At the end of the day, these are paper triangle awards. So
Are we
Yeah.
even
I don't
gonna
even
get a
know if they
paper
are
triangle?
paper triangle awards anymore. I don't know what they are.
Hey,
well,
if
they're
they're,
not
if they're,
solid
if they're
gold
not,
medals. So
yeah, who knows? Did for anyone who was got a thing last year, did y'all get your purple triangle? I don't know.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
We'll see.
bring back the mascot.
Okay, listen, Chuck,
That's
don't make
gonna
this
be-
more sad. Thank you for being a friend.
Can we start that? Can we start a petition for season 9 to bring back the Slice mascot?
What was
In
his
the
name?
Slice mascot?
What was it
You
called?
never saw the photo of him?
Can
Literally,
someone? What's the name of the mascot?
That's gonna bug me now.
Slicey?
The
Slicey the Schmoedown
wheel
slice?
slice mascot that we had for like a week.
Slice and dice. I don't know.
Slicey the Schmoedown slice?
I'm not sure. Doesn't say.
5 points to Gryffindor if someone
Someone's
in
gonna
the
have-
chat.
Why the Gryffindor?
Okay, find a Hufflepuff.
Screw
All right,
Gryffindor.
While we wait to see if someone says that in the chat, let's go ahead and wrap things up here. We'll do some quick plugs before we wrap up. Brian, start us off. Where can everybody find you online?
Be Valsino on Twitter and Apocalypse Movies and the Schmoey. That's what it was called.
Oh, cute.
Schmoey.
Thank
Thank you for being a schmo.
Thank you, Alan.
I'm sorry, Amaru. I know the second I said Gryffindor, I was like, what am
What are
I
you
doing? I'm gonna
What are you doing?
crap for
What are you
this. Apocalypse Movies. Tomorrow we're talking about our favorite movies of the last year,
Oh.
which I will be there for like 5 minutes of it. But yeah, volleyball.
Oh,
Molly?
fun.
At Molly Damon on Twitter and
Tim.
Hi, Tim.
check our Boba Fett show out over on Star Wars
Boba
Explained.
Fett.
The book report.
The book report, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern. This week we're gonna have Lucky Yates on, which he does the voice of. Oh no, I forgot his character's name. That's not a good look.
It's okay. It's late.
He does voices for Adult Swim shows, and he's also
Molly's not doing
one
her
of our.
book report homework.
Yeah, you know what? It's 2022.
Fair.
People still love you. It's okay, Molly. It's fine.
Peggy, I think that there's calling the mascot Pegs is
Phrasing.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Phrasing.
And Jill.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's. Sometimes, not usually spilling the tea on Twitter. You know. And sometimes, on occasion, when I'm available, you can find me over on SEN Live on a weekly. They have a weekly show over on Twitch. Sometimes I'm there.
And yelling at Sean to go to bed on Twitch.
And yelling at Sean to go to Twitch. I don't know why they keep inviting me to SEN because they always do movie chats, and I go, y'all realize I don't watch movies. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, why do you keep inviting me? I don't know what's happening.
See, I don't have to know anything.
Uh-huh.
We went through that, Tim. Thank you. Thank you.
On Twitter at Qui-Gon Jake, 2 N's. Someone else took it before I did. Apocalypse Movies with Brian. Not just on Apocalypse Now on Tuesdays, but we also have our own little Boba Fett review show as well called the Phantalorian Club. And then I'm gonna do a little plug for myself. I have an episode of the Whiskey Jedi coming out on Thursday. It's gonna be live. And Mr. Adam Collins is gonna be with me.
Oh, snap! He knows his
We're
whiskey.
gonna be talking some Boba Fett, some Cobra Kai, some Witcher.
Yes.
I finished it.
A lot of television that's been coming out lately, and he picked a very, very cool, interesting whiskey that I've never heard of. So check that out. That'll be Thursday evening. And
Plug something else. Plug something else. Plug the other thing that I'm excited about. Plug it. Plug
On
it.
Friday.
I'll let
Plug
you plug it while I bring up the image.
Plug it. No,
That
that's that wasn't what I was talking about. But yes,
Oh.
we have happy hour on Friday with Nikki DeMolanta. Me, Molly, and Miss Nikki DeMolanta are going to be shooting the ish and drinking some drink.
Wait,
If
what?
you guys,
I can't wait for drink.
no, not this Friday. The trivia.
Oh, you mean 2 weeks from now?
That's also what I wasn't talking about plugging.
Oh.
I'm talking about the amazing show you're having with your lovely fiance about her watching the MCU for the first time. Like,
Yeah. So,
bruh.
okay, so just I will.
Bruh.
So Gabby has never seen any of the MCU movies. So for any of you who are not on Twitter or haven't seen it, we are officially, thanks to Twitter and being very excited about it for some reason, are going to be watching and reacting to the MCU movies. I will be recording her, and we'll be having a video per movie. And then we'll get to the shows eventually. And the first one this week is coming out, and it is Iron Man. It's shot, ready to go in the books. It's just going to be ready to release. So we're going to be going through every single MCU movie there is. So yes, thank you.
I can't wait. My favorite part is when she's just gonna be like, "It was really good," like the Hulk or Thor 2, and just being like,
I asked
"You
her
can
to
lie."
be brutally honest if she didn't like it, and brutally truthful. She really loved it. So, but again, we only have one of the books. There's a lot to go.
Tell her if she didn't like it to just say it's a movie. It's a movie.
But
Anyway,
there it is,
Friday,
everybody.
happy hour. Nikki DeMolanta. Yay.
And bar
Cheers.
trivia next week.
Bar trivia next
There's a
Friday.
lot of plugs.
We
You
Plug
can
it.
find them in all the links.
Where's
Check it
our
out in the
John Hughes
description.
fans?
Follow us on Twitter, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.
Bye.